What's going on, guys? Talk to you real quick. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody have a Merry Christmas. I want to tell you guys real quick, you've already been the best version of yourself. A lot of guys need to understand you've already been the best version of yourself. They tell a lot of guys that, you got to become the best version of yourself. But what a lot of guys need to realize is you've already been that best version. You know, um, and what I mean by this, when you was an adolescent, when you was in your teen years, you was already the best version of yourself when you was an adolescent. You know, that's what a lot of you guys need to understand. When you was in middle school, when you was in high school, you was already that best version. You were young, you were vibrant, you were new, you was like a new PC, a new computer, you know, you know, no blemishes. So when people tell you, as a man, in order for you to get a woman, you got to become the best version of yourself, just know that you've already been the best version of yourself. See, when you was in middle school and high school, those are your prime years. The teen years are your prime years. A lot of guys need to get that through their head. You already been your best version. You was your best version at 15. You was your best version at 14, you know? So, if your best version wasn't good enough, what make you think that the older version of you is gonna be any better? Because see, the older you get, you on the decline. The older that you get, once you start climbing up in age, you on the decline. Like my father told me, you getting close to the grave. So the older you get, you're not as vibrant, you're not as youthful as you used to be. Even if you don't necessarily look your age, like me, I don't look 35. I don't look my age. I look a lot younger than my age. I look 25. I had somebody the other day tell me, man, I would have thought you was 25 years old. I don't look my age. I've had some people who were dumb enough to say that I look older than my age. There's no way in the world I look older than my age. I don't even look like a man that's 35. Michael B. Jordan looks like somebody that's in his 30s. Michael B. Jordan is a few years older than me. Michael B. Jordan is 37 years old, but he looks like a man that's in his 30s. I don't look like somebody that's in their 30s. And I believe this is a big reason to why women don't take some of us serious too, because we don't look like men. We don't look like we're in our 30s. I know I don't look like a man that's in his 30s. When I tell people that I'm 35, they say, man, you do not look 35. I have people thinking that I'm maybe 27 or 28. See, what a lot of guys need to understand, we've already been the best versions of ourselves. And you got to think to yourself, if the best version of yourself wasn't good enough for a woman, the older version is not going to be any better either. If you wasn't worth nothing when you were 14, when you were 15, you didn't have females trying to talk to you then. If you wasn't the best version, if you wasn't worth nothing when you were the best version of yourself, you definitely not gonna be worth nothing as the older version of yourself. Because the older that you get, you on the decline. You on the decline. So if you wasn't a sex symbol when you were 14, you're not getting ready to become one at 35. That's why I say this whole hitting the gym thing is a myth. That I go to the gym just to stay active. I'm not going for no women because I know it don't matter if I go to a gym or not. I'm still not gonna get any pussy. So it don't matter what I do. And it don't matter what a lot of guys do. See, the older you get, you're losing your youth. And you gotta think, if you wasn't marketable when you were at your best, you definitely not gonna be marketable when you up in age. It just doesn't work that way. You wasn't marketable when you was at your best. When you was an adolescent, you wasn't marketable. You didn't have females trying to talk to you then. They didn't want to bend that pussy over for you then. They didn't want to break you off none of that pussy then, when you was a teenager. So if they didn't want to break you off none of that coochie then, they definitely not going to want to break you off none at 20-something. Definitely not at 30-something, 40-something years old. Because the older you get, you're getting closer to the grave. So you just have to look at things from a realistic perspective. This is why I say religion is one of the worst things that a person could get involved with, because religion defies logic. And anything that defies logic is detrimental to your well-being. But just know that, guys, you've already been the best version of yourself. So don't allow anyone to tell you that you need to make tweaks to your personality, that you need to work on making yourself better, that you need to develop a better personality. Because think about it like this. Once you get up in age, you're like an outdated computer. You know, you're not new and vibrant like you used to be. You know, when you was a teenager, you was new, you were vibrant. Those were the beginning years. That's when you started liking females, and women didn't like, girls didn't like you then. So if you wasn't great at your best, you definitely will not be great in your later years, because you wasn't great at your best. You wasn't great when you was 14. You know, how many females told you that you were sexy when you were 14? How many females was trying to get in your pants at 14? None. So what makes you think that anything is gonna get better from here? From here on out, it's downhill. It's a downhill spiral. It's not gonna get no better. And this is what a lot of guys need to understand. You know, I hear guys talking about self-improvement, dudes working on themselves, becoming the best version of themselves. But I was thinking to myself yesterday evening, like, a lot of guys have already been the best version of themselves. So how you gonna become the best version of yourself when your years have surpassed you? You've already been the best version of yourself when you was 14, when you were 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You know, when you was 11, 12, you know, 13. You know, when you was in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already been the best version of yourself. So all these dudes talking about guys got to work on themselves. They got to work on their appearance, and they got to become the best version of themselves. That's foolishness in my personal opinion, because you've already been the best version of yourself. When you was a teenager, you were the best version then. You were youthful as a teen, you know? So if you didn't have, you know, if your best version wasn't enough, what make you think the later version of you gonna be enough? That's just something to marinate on. Don't let nobody try to gaslight you into thinking that you gotta become the best version of yourself, because those years have already surpassed. But you guys, let me know what you think about this presentation. You guys have a great Saturday. Talk to you soon.